What is up, guys? Sean's Corner here again with another little video about my collection. Obviously, my last video was about my collection thus far on the Super Nintendo and along with NES and N64. So what I want to talk about today mainly is my top 8 Super Famicom and Super Nintendo artwork for the box art, and kind of compare them and let you know which one I think was better, which one I maybe thought we wish we could have got over in the States. Yeah, these are some of my favorite games that I've either already acquired or want to acquire in the physical complete in box for the Super Famicom. So I'm gonna dive right in, and once again, guys, thanks for checking it out. So starting off with number 1, and I'm going to kind of show you guys as we go along which games I'm talking about, but that would be Chrono Trigger, and this is my complete in box with the manual and the game, and honestly this is really just in amazing condition. I'm going to kind of show that to you guys there, as well as the back. And I've actually only seen I think a couple of these copies in person. So to be able to have this, and again, this isn't expensive as the Super Nintendo copy, of course not, especially if you had a complete in box, which I do not, but I do have the actual game for the Super Nintendo. And so, like I said, I want to grab some of these boxes because, I mean, the box artwork on this game is just so amazing, and I'm showing it above, but I just love how you get to have the whole artwork across the entire box. It's not kind of hindered with the black outline that all the Super Nintendo games, had. And maybe that's just obviously this is my personal opinion, because I know a lot of people out there grew up with the SNES, and I grew up a little bit, younger, and so I grew up with the N64, and so I was used to the American N64 boxes and things like that, but the Super Nintendo, I kind of missed out on that. And so the traditional black around the edges box, just kind of grab a copy here. There's Super Mario RPG. You kind of get that black outline that comes around the box. And again, I don't have any complete in boxes of my Super Nintendos. I haven't decided to go that route because I didn't want to destroy or have the cardboard so easily destroyed, but now I'm collecting complete Super Famicom games, so so much for that kind of went out the window. Anyway, Chrono Trigger, guys, I really love the box art here. Like I said, it goes all the way across, and if we kind of compare it to the American version, we can see here it's a different image completely. And I honestly love this image too. If I could ever get my hands on a complete Chrono Trigger in-box, because I do love this game. I think this game. I'm not going to speak praises of the game because you could watch any review that goes into it in detail to kind of explain why this game's so amazing if you don't know about it. But this game is unreal, and I love the artwork. It's I'm not going to try to butcher the guy's name, but it's the same guy that does the artwork for Dragon Ball Z. I grew up loving Dragon Ball Z as a young kid, so I love the artwork, and I love the pixel artwork even in the game. It's just so well done. And again, like I said, nothing against this artwork. I think it's awesome. I just I love having all the characters that they have out on the Super Famicom version. I think it takes the cake, just barely though, because I love this action, and it kind of shows you doing the combos in the game. And so I'd give it a tie, but having the physical copy, it kind of, until I have the physical copy of the American version. Right now the Japanese version wins just because I got that physical copy, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see in person. Going into number 2 would definitely have to be my copy of Earthbound. And again, not a complete in-box copy. It would be like probably closer to that big. And but I just picked up these cases off of eBay. I think they're awesome, nice and hard. Protect the game. But as you can see, the American version of Earthbound compared to, let's look at the Japanese version, which is called Mother 2 in Japan, being the second entry to the games, to the series. Quite a bit different. You just kind of get this plain red Mother 2 logo, and I wouldn't say it's bad. I think plain's fine. I think it's definitely okay, but you definitely, looking back at this American version, of Mother 2 or Earthbound, you get much more of an idea, or even a little more depth to what the game's about. I mean, Mother 2, when I first heard about the series, I was kind of like, what does this even mean? And then connecting it to Earthbound and connecting it to NES, I mean, it kind of all started to make sense. But I think just having the artwork and getting to see actually something about the game, you get to kind of get a better understanding of what it's actually about, and it's a little more enjoyable, although it's kind of wacky, but that's what Earthbound is. For those of you who also love Earthbound, it's a wacky RPG game. Next on the list is a great, one of the greats for the Super Nintendo, obviously Link to the Past, Legend of Zelda title, and as you can see, the American version and the PAL version, both the same artwork. I actually have the copy of the artwork here with this hard case, and just the artwork on the back. It's great. I mean, my thing with this one, and this is again probably just nostalgia, is I remember even playing this game with cousins and friends growing up, and it's just hard to get away from that, just the big Zelda logo on the front with the sword and the shield. So when you look at the Japanese version, you get kind of a different feel. You get that the old cartoon series of Zelda and what Link looked like in that cartoon series, and I think it's fun. I think it's different, and I do want to get my hands on this one as well. But I think it just doesn't have that same, I don't know, iconic feel, I guess you could say, as the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, as this one was known as the Triforce of the Gods, and so a little bit different there. But again, both good copies, but I'd have to give it to the American SNES version. Okay, next up, this one is probably just wins by a landslide. It's the Final Fantasy games, both Final Fantasy 2 and Final Fantasy 3 on the SNES, which we know now for a long while now is Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 6 respectively. So as you can see, 2 and 3 here are on the SNES. They're, I mean, you pick up the game, you're just kind of like, I would have something with swords, something fantasy. I mean, you have no idea what's going on with this game. Not necessarily bad artwork at all. I really actually liked artwork, but it's not even close. 4, I think, is just so, it's almost just cute and just simplistic, and you just have the characters on the front, and you just get to really see who you're going to be playing as, who you're going to be interacting with, and just really beautiful artwork. And then of course 6 or 3 on the SNES is just beautiful. I mean, try to beat that artwork, you can't with what we got in America. So that's definitely one I want to pick up as well. I still do need Final Fantasy 2 or 4 for the SNES. Do not have the copy, but I do have 3, so I want to get its cousin or sister copy from Japan, Final Fantasy 6, because that box artwork's amazing, and I actually maybe have it shipped from eBay already, so I'll be getting that hopefully soon. Alright, moving on. This game is another amazing game. Whoever hasn't played this game yet, please pick it up somehow. Eventually we hope to be able to get it on the Switch with I guess the Nintendo Switch Online, since we don't have the virtual console anymore. But it is Super Metroid, and as you can see from the images here, we definitely have an amazing Super Metroid artwork for the SNES, but when you look over at the Japanese artwork, of course they still just gotta one-up us a little bit, and you can just kind of tell that there's a little more detail. Obviously there's a lot more depth to it, you got a lot more going on in the image here, but even just the detail and the coloring, it's a little bit lighter. You can kind of see Samus's suit a little bit better, and in the American version it's just a lot darker colors. They're I don't know, maybe more rich a little bit, but because of how rich those colors are, it kind of just doesn't match totally well. I think even the PAL version, they look almost identical, but it has a little bit brighter colors, which makes it give the picture a little bit more depth. So this one I gotta go again to Japan, just because how detailed the image is and how intense it looks. I mean, if I picked that game up as a kid, I'd be like, this is a scary game. this looks intense. I mean, the SNES version just looks, you know, cool, looks awesome, maybe a little scary to some kids growing up, but the Japanese, the Super Famicom version looks just intense. It just makes you want to pick that game up, play it right away. And moving on, I guess, from Super Metroid, I think a good one to follow up with that would be Mega Man X. And again, another game you have to pick up if you never played it. Even if you're not a big Mega Man fan, Mega Man X is a great game to just pick up and play. It definitely has its challenges and it can be tough, but the music in this game, as you can tell, is just amazing. It's just unreal. And if you look at the artwork on the American version and the PAL version, both very similar, you can tell, you know, it looks like it'd be a great game if you never picked up Mega Man before. It looks exciting, looks fun. But I would have to give it, if you have any kind of, I guess, tie to anime at all, or to more of a cartoon style, you're gonna love the Japanese version, which was called Rockman X in Japan. And if you just look at this artwork, I mean, it's just got so much more going on. And I definitely say they're so different that I can't really give this one a score on which one I like more or not. Mega Man, the name Mega Man definitely beats Rockman, that's for sure, let's be honest. But translated over to Mega Man is definitely a plus for the SNES. So I guess this is more of a preference one, I think. I don't think there's any, you know, one beats the other 100%. But both really fun artwork to check out and enjoy. So I'm going to move straight on to classic first game out on the SNES, Super Mario World. And this is just a really just plain image. I mean, I think that's what they were going for in the United States. It's just Mario on Yoshi. I mean, what else do you need? You see that, you're like, alright, I guess I'm going to play this game. I'm going to pick it up if you don't already get it with your Super Nintendo. And looking over to the Super Famicom version, I mean, just obviously, just so much more going with it. It's so much better of an actual box art than what we got here in the States. And I actually have a shirt with this exact logo on it, or the actual art on it, because I mean, guys, it's awesome. Obviously, it's Mario and Yoshi, just like we got on the Super Nintendo case, but this one's box art is just so much more detailed. You actually see the world behind Mario, Super Mario World, so why wouldn't there be a world behind him? I mean, Japan wins this one again, guys. It's winning by a landslide so far. And now we're gonna actually go into one of my personal favorite, not just games but artwork, like just by far, which would be Secret of Mana. And again, just have a hard copy of the book. I hope to one day pick up the actual, physical copy of the real original box to have the box art. But I did pick up, in one of my finds, I did pick up a Secret of Mana, the original poster. Gosh, original poster, which is beautiful. And I just think the artwork here, I mean, as you can see, was done so well. And it's really hard to compete with this artwork. I just think, I mean, any game competing with how beautiful this game looks. And I'm really glad this game is such a good game too, because I mean, the artwork would have destroyed some of the kind of odd RPGs that were out there in the SNES. So comparing this to the Japanese one, as you can see on the Super Famicom, it's very similar. We just got kind of the last bottom part of the artwork, which is definitely unfortunate. I do like the richness of the Super Nintendos. You get a little more closer view on the actual characters, but just spreading it out to see the mana tree and just to see the whole picture. And again, I don't have the box art, but that would cover the whole box. You just have the whole box to look at and get to see how amazing and detailed the artwork is. And so kind of on top of this, and trying to finish out, since this was number 8, since we never got Seiken Densetsu 3, which it would have been Secret of Mana 2 in the United States, kind of want to show you that image here and just how cool that art looks. And I mean, since we didn't really get it, there's also some fans who put out like Secret of Mana 2 artwork and kind of their imagination of what that might be. And obviously it's not quite as good as what we probably would have got, I don't know, I mean, I liked what Seiken Densetsu 3's box art looks like, and I probably would pick that one up because I want to pick up a ROM cart just to be able to play it on original hardware. There's people that have been able to do that, so that's probably I would imagine the only ROM copy that I would pick up, or reproduction copy. So guys, I hope you liked it. Kind of rambling on a little bit, so I'm gonna end the video here, but I just wanted to throw some content out for you. I still have been collecting, really enjoying the Super Nintendo. Been moving around, been finishing up with my last year of college, and looking for full-time work, so it's been super busy and hectic, but I figured I had no excuse. I had about an hour to put some stuff together, so I thought I'd throw this video up for you. Let me know what you guys think. Put down in the comments below what your favorite artwork was for the Super Nintendo or for the Super Famicom. And yeah, guys, thanks for checking out the video. Check out our other videos on the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what else you'd like to see from the channel, and hopefully we'll have some more content coming out for you guys soon. Oh, and we'll see you.